Many years ago, the Duke of Gordon was visiting a village in Scotland. While he and his friends were relaxing in a room, a group of soldiers were lined up right outside their window. The officer in charge was inspecting the soldiers' uniforms and weapons. Whenever he found something wrong, he would yell and curse at the soldier. The Duke hated such foul language and wished the inspection would hurry up. One of his friends said, "If you'd like, I can get this officer to stop swearing without any trouble." The Duke was happy to hear that and said, "Please do. I'd be very grateful." The friend then went outside and stood behind the officer, politely taking off his hat. Every time the officer swore, the friend would say "Amen" in a loud, serious voice, just like someone saying "Amen" in church. Confused, the officer turned around and asked, "What do you mean by that?" With a straight face, the friend replied, "I'm simply joining you in prayer." The officer, a little flustered, answered, "Well, thank you, sir, but I don't need a helper right now. Soldiers, right face, march." And so, the officer and his soldiers marched away, much to the amusement of the Duke. This clever trick not only stopped the swearing but also taught the officer a valuable lesson. It's wrong to use God's name in anger or to insult others with foul language. Such behavior always comes back to bite you in the end. Now, listen closely, my boy. The best way to speak is with pure and refined language. Slang, insults, profanity, and blasphemy only come from someone with a bad heart. Remember the saying, "Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh." Let your words be clear, well chosen, and pleasant. They will be like music to good people, comforting to the pious, and a positive influence on those around you. Here's a story to remember. A famous speaker named John B. Goff once gave a lecture in Pennsylvania. During the lecture, he talked about how he struggled with alcohol for 7 years. He deeply regretted that part of his life and wished he could erase it. Then, with a powerful gesture, he looked at the young people in the audience and said, "Young man, keep your record." Sadly, he couldn't finish his sentence. He collapsed and never regained consciousness. It seems he wanted to say, "Young man, keep your record clean." Remember, my boy, using bad words hurts you too. There's a story about a bee who offered honey to Jupiter, the king of the gods. Jupiter was so pleased that he promised to grant the bee anything it wished for. The bee said, "Great Jupiter, give me a sting so I can kill anyone who tries to steal my honey." Jupiter replied, "Your wish won't be granted exactly as you ask. You will have a sting, but when you sting someone who tries to take your honey, you will die too. Your life will go with the sting." That's how it is with bad language. If you curse others, you are really cursing yourself. Therefore, control your tongue and guard your words. Remember these lines. It's reason's job to guide the heart, to calm the soul when worries start. Reason can soothe this inner strife and steer your ship through changing life.